Look at Slowking. I got a little figure. I love Gen 2 and its Pokemon. Do you? I think they hit the perfect balance of simplicity and that like just original Pokemon design philosophy that made them simple and still charming. And there's so many good hits from this generation. I know a lot of people like to mention how weak a lot of them are, and a lot of them were really easily outdated as the years went on, and a lot of them are pretty wimpy. I mean, I got them over here, the Gen 2 stereotype, you know, your Sunfloras, your Ladians. Quagsire even found a nice little niche, but he has a really bad stat total, right? But I even just said it there. Even though there is plenty of trash, there's a lot of bad Pokemon within Gen 2, at least competitively, in both singles and doubles. There's also a lot of hitters. There's a lot of successful Pokemon. Oh, I should have put Macargo in the Gen 2 stereotype. Wonderful design. Awful in actual usage. Anyways, Tyranitar, Skarmory, Scizor, Blissey, they all have very good competitive careers. Some of them got buffed later and had pretty good competitive careers, like Azumarill. But as of Gen 9, a bunch of them have fallen off. Even still, there's a lot of power creep, and even the best of Gen 2 is struggling. Blissey kept finding OU niches, but kept it going in and out and just dropping because it's only good on stall. Tyranitar is finally meeting his match. There's too many good Pokemon exploiting his typing. He's a little too prediction reliant. Skarmory finally got a little bit overshadowed by competition as they released Corviknight, who has frickin' U-turn, while Skarmory is bad at pivoting. He's stuck there. And then you got Scizor, who's just kinda is pretty solid still, but they slashed Roost from his moveset, and he's not quite keeping up OU level. He's close though, he's good. And now, there's only one Gen 2 Pokemon that's in OU. Now I know you might say, it's a regional form. It's a regional form, buddy. I count Megas and regional forms a little bit of credit for their original gen, especially because it's the same dang Pokedex number, it's the same Pokemon, and it's the same stats. It's the slightest little changes. Heck, Galarian Slowking even uses the same ability that normal Slowking uses, and normal Slowking was an OU even for a little bit at the beginning of the generation before his purple-hatted self came in. Now, why is Slowking the only one keeping up? He puts on a purple hat and he turns into a poison type. Slowking, but it's a poison type, is the only Gen 2 Pokemon doing well right now. Look at it. Here are the viability rankings of both OU and National Dex OU. He's doing great on both. He's A rank in normal OU. He's a staple of the tier still. And then he is A plus in the National Dex OU rankings. There are very little old Pokemon still keeping up like that. Only like Dragonite and Zapdos and whatnot. It's pretty cool to see Slowking and his purple-hatted form doing this well for himself. Now, why is he this good? Why is Slowking doing better than ever before? Slowking didn't even do that well in the first like 5 generations of existence. He was like a humble, solid mid-tier. Well, there's a few reasons. Regenerator lets him heal a whole bunch. Every time he switches, he gets to heal. They gave him a new unique move this generation, being Chilly Reception, letting him be a slow, bulky pivot. It's a move that switches him out. He can tank a hit, then switch out, set up for a buddy. And he's got absolutely crazy coverage. You want Flamethrower, you want Ice Beam, you want Poison Stab. Oh my gosh, my webcam's so crazy. Slowking even has an awful case of 4-slot moveset syndrome, which just honestly means he has a lot of good options. He has more variety than maybe every single other Pokemon within the OU tier. He's got pivoting options. He has that unique move for himself, Chilly Reception. That is great for him to have. He doesn't have Volt Switch or U-turn or Flip Turn or anything else like that. Having a pivoting move is so important in the modern day because it's real hectic. You need defensive pivots. You need your defensive Pokemon to actually do something. If you just sit around, you're going to get taunted, you're going to get ceaseless edged, and you're going to get headlong rushed. There's just too much offensive output and useful moves to be thrown out in the modern day. You're going to get knockoffed. But Chilly Reception, having an actual way to pivot out slowly so you can tank a hit, regenerate it off with Regenerator, it's just a perfect setup. And it's the only successful user of Future Sight, having the options of a slow pivoting move, good bulk, and also Regenerator to frequently heal yourself is the only conditions that finally made the move Future Sight turn from a gimmick to still a gimmick, but it's actually really good. It finally made Future Sight viable. We saw this a lot in Gen 8 because Slowbro and Slowking had Teleport, and they let Teleport be a slow pivoting move. Specifically a slow pivoting move, because it actually even had negative priority, and I mean it still does, but now very little Pokemon get Teleport. Only the Pokemon that naturally learn it do. There used to be a small select group of Pokemon that had TM Teleport access all the way back from Gen 1. And that's what Slowbro and Slowking had. But now Slowbro can't teleport anymore. But they gave Slowking in Gen 9 this completely unique move out of nowhere, Chilly Reception. It's really nice. Being able to slow pivot out lets him set up a Future Sight. He can just throw out a couple good special attacks. He can Toxic things. He has Thunder Wave. Even a lot of Pokemon lost Toxic, but since Slowking's now an interesting Poison type, he gets to keep it. He could Scald you, he can Ice Beam you. He's one of the best users of Trick as well. He can have a Black Sludge on him, and since he's a Poison type, that's just a leftovers for him. But then if he tricks it onto you, and you're anybody other than Goldengo or another Poison type, you're not happy about that. You both lose your item, and your item will probably benefit him now, and you get an item that's now damaging you for 12% every single turn. And that can be very helpful for forcing progress against Stall as well. Despite being a defensive Pokemon, Slowking is even one of the best at pressuring Stall. Future Sight plus another attacker can be really difficult for Stall, and so can some of the other tactics, like having Psyshock and other special moves, Psychic Noise, Trick Black Sludge. I mean, Galarian Slowking has a lot to do, and just pivoting constantly, healing yourself with Regenerator. I didn't even mention, but Slowking has such a vast move pool that it even does have Slack Off. It has a healing option, but it doesn't even use it. The vast majority of the time, it doesn't use it. It still can though, and I have seen it done well. Slowking is just rich with options, and it has solid enough stats. It's well-distributed stats. I didn't even pull up its stats, but having 30 in speed, having one stat that you just kind of tank in, you do badly in, so you can have well-distributed stats elsewhere, is good. Its attack is decently low too, so it can have great HP, great special defense, great special attack, well, solid enough special attack. 110 is just fine. Especially when you stick around long enough to constantly be spewing attacks, you're regenerating, and you have useful moves. Just great, solid power coverage, and moves that force progress, and moves that help build momentum, like pivoting moves. He's just built very well for modern singles. Now, I don't think Galarian Slowking or Slowking in general is all that good in doubles, but that's okay. Being good in one of the two is good enough, right? Come on. People play Showdown still. I know champions exist. People, Showdown's still a lot more convenient, I'm gonna be honest. And I don't like Champions singles format. It's mid. Now, to show you, and heck, I even just really like Slowking. Slowking's a good boy. Look at Slowking. I got a little figure. The Pokemon Center website, they sell a little Galarian Slowking thing. I thought it was going to be too recent of a form to have merch, but not quite so. It's a cute little plush. I've got my own little G-King, my own Glowking, my own Galarian Slowking. I want to celebrate a Gen 2 Pokemon doing well for themselves. You know what I'm saying? I think that's good stuff. I think that's nice to see. We don't see enough of that anymore. Let's see what Galarian Slowking does in this tournament semifinals. Skip around here. Kyurem is also a fantastic partner for Galarian Slowking, as Chili's reception does set up the snow. I've mostly only mentioned how it pivots you out, but it also has that random bonus effect that also lets Galarian Slowking be a rather good counter to weather teams, or at least a little helpful check, or to set up things like Specs never missing Blizzard from Kyurem. Specs, Blizzard, and Kyurem just hits like a dang truck. And here we have another great Galarian Slowking moment. Galarian Slowking against Ogerpon. There's a couple things that could happen, but this player just goes ballsy and goes, let me use this great coverage that Galarian Slowking has. Boom, Ice Beam, snipe a Gliscor for almost all of its HP instantly. Boom, this is a defensive Pokemon, but it's not like a Blissey. That ain't no Seismic Toss. That just did 87%. Ain't no Seismic Toss. You gotta love Galarian Slowking. And heck, even in this Gen 8 game that they play later, the other part of the tournament, there's still a Galarian Slowking around. And it was part of the winning team each time. We call it a Slowking summer. We love a Slowking summer. My boy Slowking is a great Pokemon, and I love that he's doing well for himself. He's going to have to carry the Gen 2 limelight. The Megas help quite a bit too. I bet Mega Scizor and Mega Meganium have a chance at being OU if they're in like wind and waves or whatever. But we'll just have to see.